answer the poll in the chat as of right now. Hold up, let me see where we're at. Right now we have 100% of people saying there's checks and balances for the reason. And the question was, chat, do you think this is a setup because of who Jason is? I personally think it's a setup. Not necessarily because of who Jason is, but because what he represents. And what Jason represents is the LGBTQ plus community, right? Shout out to the Alphabet boys and girls. Yeah, so he represents the LGBTQIA plus, and he's in a position of power. So for those of you who don't know, Jason Lee is actually the vice, I think he's the vice mayor. Let me see, he's the vice mayor of Stockton, I believe. I didn't even know that. But yeah, so he has influence and he has power socially. So Jason Lee, the vice mayor of Stockton, and Law and Order with Black Adam, the final Law and Order and the main event, people. So Jason Lee is the vice mayor of Stockton, and as the vice mayor of Stockton and the media personality who owns Hollywood Unlocked and was the creator of Hollywood Unlocked, he's under fire after allegedly using $50,000 in city funds to cover a Wild 'N Out event he was featured in.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
No way, yay. So the city says the money came from a risk mitigation fund to prevent cancellation, but the interim city manager claims he never signed off on the payout. Lee says it was all done to boost community morale and attract future events, but critics say he used the city cash for self-promo. Here we go.
And we start tonight with breaking news. Late today, the interim city manager in Stockton announced an investigation. It's all about the use of $50,000 in the city's risk mitigation fund. The money was used in connection to a recent Wild 'N Out event, allegedly without the city manager's approval or...
And shout out to Wild 'N Out. Shout out to Nick Cannon. Let me pull up Wild 'N Out. Let me pull up the episode. I don't know which episode it was though, right? This is a month later, but we're gonna see the most recent episode. So let me see. Jason Lee, Wild 'N Out. Here we go. Hold on. Let's see if we can find it. Everybody talking about it, but here we go.
The jury of Hollywood needs to know which of these straight cast members on stage right now
What?
would you unlock?
Brother, what's that?
All right, here we go.
A long time ago when I was on this show, I said, if he taught me how to spit, I'd teach him how to so, hit me and holla.
Brother,
Anyways, yeah. So I guess that was the episode or whatever. I just showed y'all that quick excerpt. Let me see. Back to Instagram. Here we go. And let us know what you think in the comment section.
And we start tonight with breaking news. Late today, the interim city manager in Stockton announced an investigation. It's all about the use of $50,000 in the city's risk mitigation fund. The money was used in connection to...
So the problem really is where the money comes from. So the risk mitigation fund. So the risk mitigation fund, I don't think was supposed to be used for a TV episode, right? That's just what it is. Here we go.
Recent Wild 'N Out event, allegedly without the city manager's approval or knowledge. The city is now investigating exactly how that money was authorized and who was involved. So stay with ABC 10 for updates.
And we have what Jason had to say. Let me see. And like I said, I think it's also because I don't know whether or not he signed off properly or they did the right chain of command. But what I do know is, like I said, you know, Jason Lee represents the alphabet community. What else? He has a lot of influence and he's starting to build up influence, and who knows where he's trying to go in the future, but that's why they got to come out with the shit now. Jason Lee responds accusations. Let me see where we at. Where is it? And it's tough because you wouldn't know that Jason Lee was the vice mayor. You wouldn't know. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if I can find it. I might have to go on yeah, I might have to go on I might have to go on the internet. We're gonna go on the internet real quick. Let me go on the internet and pull it up because he responded. Let me see. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me see. Not images, news. And Jason Lee said that, or he denied. Hold on 1 second. You know they always gotta hit you with some advertisements. Let me see. All right, so Jason Lee denied doing any wrongdoing in the comedy show fund controversy, despite an ongoing investigation. So, Stockton Vice Mayor Jason Lee is speaking out amid growing controversy over the city's use of public funds for the recent Wild and Out comedy show at the Adventist Health Arena. Lee says he did nothing wrong and that everything was handled in line with city policies. However, an independent investigation is now underway and the California Attorney General may soon get involved. When I saw the weaponization of Wild and Out in the press, I was extremely concerned.
Meanwhile, tonight, Stockton Vice Mayor Jason Lee is speaking.
Before I play that, I was extremely concerned, but it didn't shock me because the politically motivated attacks that have been happening over the last 6 months since this interim city manager has been here have been extremely concerning, is what Jason Lee said. So on Wednesday, he said he did nothing wrong and was not involved in the decision to use the city money to save a comedy show, Wild and Out, at Adventist Health Arena, a show that Lee helped bring to Stockton and also performed in. In emails obtained by ABC 10, arena officials warned city staff members that promoters of the show were considering canceling the May event because of low ticket sales just 1 day before the show was set to happen. That's when someone at the city hall made the decision to use the $50,000 from the city's risk mitigation fund to save the show. Okay, so it sounds like it was within guidelines, but was it really needed to use that $50K is the real issue. So Lee says he was not involved in those conversations and that everything was done according to current city policies. It says the request should have gone to the city manager. It doesn't say the policy requires it to go to the city manager. Lee said this week Stockholm's interim city manager launched the internal investigation into the money spent on the event, but Lee, as well as council member Mario Enriquez, said they did nothing wrong and want the attorney general's office to step in and help prove that. I will be making a motion directing the city attorney to refer this matter to the California Attorney General's office because transparency is important, ethics is important. Lee is calling the investigation a conspiracy and pointed the finger back at the interim city manager, Steve Colangelo, accusing him of violating the Brown Act and retaliation. This sudden controversy that came out of nowhere is nothing more than a distraction from the real scandal that's happening in the building behind me. Here we go.
Out. It comes in response to a controversy over city funds being used for a recent Wild and Out show.
He says everything was handled properly and in line with city policies. But as ABC 10's Austin Castro reports, the state attorney general may soon get involved in the investigation.
When I saw the weaponization of Wild and Out.
And there go your boy Jason. This ninja the mayor. This ninja the mayor, man. Shout out to this ninja. Well, he's the vice mayor. Shout out to this ninja right here. Well, I don't even know if he's a ninja, but shout out to the good brother Jason. Here we go.
In the press, I was extremely concerned, but it didn't shock me because the politically motivated attacks that have been happening over the last 6 months since this interim city manager has been here has been extremely concerning.
Stockton Vice Mayor Jason Lee on Wednesday defending he did nothing wrong and was not involved in the decision to use city money to save a comedy show, Wild and Out, at Adventist Health Arena, a show that Lee helped bring to Stockton and he also performed in. In emails obtained by ABC 10, arena officials warned city staff members that promoters of the show were considering canceling the May event because of low ticket sales a day before the show was set to happen. That's when someone at City Hall made the decision to use $50,000 from the city's risk mitigation fund to save the show. Lee says he was not involved in those conversations and everything was done according to current city policies.
Says the request should have gone to the city manager. It doesn't say the policy requires it to go to the city manager.
This week.
All right, so that right there is very important. He said it says the request should have gone to the city manager, not that it's required to go to the city manager. That means it was supposed to go whether or not he tried to get the money, it's going to go to the city manager first. And I guess that's what he's making his case on. Here we go.
Week, Stockton's interim city manager launched an internal investigation into the money spent on the event, but Lee, as well as council member Mario Enriquez, say they did nothing wrong and they want the Attorney General's office to step in and prove that.
This sudden controversy that came out of nowhere is nothing more than a distraction from the real scandal that's happening in the building behind me.
Lee is calling this investigation a conspiracy and pointed the finger back at interim city manager Steve Colangelo, accusing him of violating the Brown Act and retaliation.
I will be making a motion directing the city attorney to refer this matter to the California Attorney General's office. Because transparency is important, ethics is important.
In Stockton, Austin Castro, ABC 10.
Austin, thank you. We did reach out to the city for a statement from the mayor and interim city manager on Jason Lee's comments today, but have not yet received a response.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, man, man.
This is Windows.
Yeah, what do y'all think, man? I don't know. What I will say is, like I said, Jason Lee is becoming powerful. I've watched him grow. Now I ain't watch him like that. Shout out to the homos. But nah, I mean, in all actuality, shout out to Jason Lee for real. He has a lot that he's doing now. I don't know what his plans are politically in the future, but I'm assuming it's to go far places. Past that, I don't know whether or not this was on purpose or not on purpose. What I do know is it was probably a mistake. There was an error along the chain of command. Past that, let us know what you think in the comment section. That's it for today's show. I'm going to post some content later, but I'm going to be busy tonight. So no Tonight Show tonight, right? But past that, man, like I said, shout out to everybody that watches. Shout out to everybody that watches on the playback. At the end of the day, we have 100% of people saying that there's checks and balances for a reason. So we don't know what to believe, but we'll keep you guys updated on the story. Shout out to you if you tuned in, man. If you tuned in, you are the resistance and you are not alone. There are pockets of Adam spread throughout the planet. We're going against the function. The divisive tactics that they use to pit us against each other will be exposed. We are not machines. We are human beings. Join the Adam Effect. Join the movement. Shout out to the Adam. Shout out